The night sky over Tel Aviv was calm for only a few seconds before a sudden streak of fire cut through the darkness. Moments later, explosions shook the city. Alarms screamed across the streets, windows shattered, and people rushed to shelters. The unthinkable had happened. Yemen's secret missiles had struck at the heart of Israel's war ministry. This was not just another regional attack. It was a direct challenge that stunned military analysts worldwide. The story of how these weapons came to exist and how they reached Tel Aviv undetected is one of secrecy, innovation, and shifting power in the Middle East. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Conflict Front Stories channel. Please subscribe and like my videos because your support helps us continue bringing you the most accurate and timely updates from global conflict zones. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most shocking developments in modern warfare, the mysterious Yemeni missile strike that devastated Tel Aviv's war ministry and changed the tone of the regional conflict overnight. In the early hours of the attack, Israeli defense systems detected multiple incoming projectiles. Iron Dome batteries engaged instantly, lighting up the sky with counter-fire, but several missiles managed to penetrate the shield. Reports confirmed direct impacts on the military complex that houses strategic command units. Smoke rose above the city as emergency sirens echoed for miles. The precision of the strike left intelligence experts questioning how Yemen managed to pull this off, given the vast distance and Israel's advanced radar defenses. Sources close to the region believe the missiles used in the attack were not standard ballistic models. Satellite tracking data suggested a trajectory originating from Yemen's western coast, near Hudaydah. What shocked analysts most was the range over 1,500 kilometers far beyond Yemen's known capabilities. This new generation of long-range systems might be the result of quiet collaboration between Yemen's engineers and foreign partners, possibly integrating Iranian technology and locally developed guidance systems. Inside the Israeli defense community, alarm bells rang. The strike revealed vulnerabilities in the very systems considered among the most reliable in the world. Israel's military quickly released statements confirming an incident, but avoided direct mention of damage to critical infrastructure. However, footage from local residents showed smoke billowing from buildings that closely matched the architecture of the war ministry complex. Firefighters and emergency vehicles flooded the scene as military helicopters hovered overhead. The immediate goal was containment, but the psychological damage had already been done. In Yemen, celebration erupted in several cities. Supporters filled the streets chanting slogans of victory, while official sources hinted that this was only the beginning. The message was clear: Yemen wanted the world to know that it had evolved from a nation under siege to one capable of striking far beyond its borders. This transformation did not happen overnight. Over years of conflict, Yemeni engineers and militias developed their weapon systems under constant bombardment. Every failed test became a lesson, every destroyed launch site a reason to innovate. By the time the attack on Tel Aviv occurred, Yemen had reportedly built a small but effective arsenal of precision missiles designed to bypass electronic jamming. These weapons were constructed using hybrid designs, fragments of Iranian technology, combined with local materials and advanced software systems. Unlike older, less accurate models, these new missiles carried improved GPS targeting and warhead control systems that allowed for pinpoint accuracy even over long distances. Military experts now describe this strike as a wake-up call. The balance of power in the Middle East is shifting. For years, Israel has held the upper hand with its superior air force, satellite network, and defense shields, but Yemen's successful hit proved that even powerful nations can be vulnerable to unconventional tactics. It also demonstrated the growing effectiveness of asymmetric warfare, where smaller nations use innovation and unpredictability to challenge stronger opponents. Inside Tel Aviv, political leaders held emergency meetings through the night. Security forces were placed on high alert, and military units were ordered to strengthen defenses around critical government buildings. Rumors spread of potential retaliation, but Israeli officials remained cautious. The possibility that more missiles could be hidden in Yemen's deserts or underground launch silos created intense uncertainty. Intelligence agencies began scanning for signs of additional launches, while drones and satellites focused on Yemen's western coastlines for new activity. The attack also sent shockwaves through international communities. Western nations condemned the strike, calling for restraint and warning against further escalation. At the same time, several Middle Eastern governments quietly praised Yemen's action as a symbolic resistance against Israeli military power. Iran's state media celebrated it as a turning point, emphasizing the technological self-reliance of allied forces in the region. Meanwhile, U.S. officials called for emergency talks, concerned that this event could ignite a wider regional war involving multiple players. Experts warn that this conflict could expand beyond direct military exchanges. Cyber operations, disinformation campaigns, and economic pressure are already intensifying. Israeli cybersecurity teams reported unusual activity on key government servers shortly after the strike, suggesting coordinated hybrid warfare tactics. Yemen's leaders, on the other hand, appear confident. They have signaled that they will continue to respond to any Israeli operations in the Red Sea or surrounding waters with equal force. As the dust settled, new satellite images showed significant structural damage near the War Ministry site. The scale of the destruction was limited compared to full-scale bombardments, but the symbolic impact was enormous. Tel Aviv's War Ministry had never been successfully targeted before. The idea that missiles from Yemen, a nation suffering from years of war and blockade, could reach the Israeli capital shook global perceptions of security. For military analysts, this marked the dawn of a new phase in Middle Eastern conflict, one defined not by large armies, but by technological surprise and psychological warfare. The Israeli military is now conducting a full review of its defense architecture. Questions are being raised in the Knesset about whether the Iron Dome and Arrow systems need upgrading to handle long-range, low-altitude threats. Meanwhile, defense contractors are racing to develop new interception algorithms. But technology takes time, and Yemen has already proven that time can be used to adapt faster than anyone expected. The attack has also sparked a new wave of fear among Israel's allies. Nations that once believed themselves untouchable are now reviewing their own defense capabilities. If Yemen, under immense pressure, could develop such advanced weaponry, others might follow the same path. This could lead to an arms race across the Middle East, with devastating consequences for global stability. On the streets of Tel Aviv, ordinary citizens are trying to return to normal life, but the tension is visible everywhere from checkpoints to crowded markets. Every siren triggers unease. Every military jet overhead reminds them that war is no longer distant. For many Israelis, this event shattered the illusion of absolute safety. For Yemenis, it became a moment of national pride, proof that years of struggle had finally shifted the balance. In the days following the strike, diplomats scrambled to de-escalate tensions. Secret communications reportedly took place between major powers, urging both sides to avoid further confrontation. Yet beneath the surface, preparations for the next move continue. Yemen's military leadership hinted that they have more advanced weapons in reserve, including drones capable of coordinated swarm attacks. Israel, in turn, warned that any future strikes would be met with a massive and immediate response. The world is watching closely, fearing that one more exchange could spiral into a full-scale regional conflict. This entire episode also raises deeper questions about technology control and intelligence failure. How did global powers miss Yemen's missile development? Were there foreign advisors involved? Or has the era of underestimated resistance movements begun? What's clear is that warfare is evolving, and traditional defense systems alone may no longer guarantee protection. For now, both nations are measuring their next steps carefully. Tel Aviv is rebuilding, tightening its defenses, and recalibrating its intelligence network. Yemen, emboldened by the success, is leveraging its newfound reputation to strengthen alliances. The silence between these moves is uneasy, like the calm before another storm. The strike on Tel Aviv's war ministry might be remembered as the night when the rules of engagement changed. It demonstrated that innovation can emerge from desperation, and that technology, once the weapon of the strong, can now empower the underestimated. The Middle East, already fragile, has entered a new era, one where distance no longer guarantees safety, and power can shift overnight through one unexpected act. What happens next is uncertain, but one thing is clear: this event will shape the strategic future of the region for years to come. It's a reminder to every nation that strength is not only measured by the size of its army, but by the ingenuity of its people. Thank you for watching. This is Conflict Front Stories, your channel for deep, factual, and fearless coverage of global military developments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an update on the stories reshaping our world. Stay tuned for more analysis, and as always, stay aware and stay informed.